The FIA are investigating us after what happened last time out when our DRS got stuck open. We refused to pit, and we, I've got to admit, gained a pretty massive illegal advantage having the DRS permanently open for a number of laps, you know, in a straight line. It was ridiculous how quick we were. Obviously had to compensate in the corners, but that was my call at the time mid-race. But we have now put the team in jeopardy. There could be some sort of financial penalty, maybe a grid drop as well, but that investigation is pending, and we'll find out the result of that investigation next episode. But it's certainly not the best way to start a life in Formula 1 for Porsche partnering with us. But, you know, these things happen. Maybe in a way will be my argument in the first race of the season. You have reliability issues, you have teething problems with cars. You know, it's the first time they've really gone out in anger, you know, versus pre-season testing. So that is the argument I'm going to be using if summoned in front of the FIA. And speaking of reliability issues, of course, on the other side of the garage, our AI brand new driver, Charles Leclerc. Oh, it was a horrendous start to life for him at aarava Porsche Racing as his car failed him. Our car failed him, and he started this season with a DNF. I really hope that is not a sign of things to come in terms of, you know, the bad luck following Leclerc wherever he goes. I mean, he is a world champion in this alternative F1 universe of ours, so it's not like he's completely been totally unlucky the entire time in this series. But, you know, ever since that world championship in season 2, it's not been going so well. But that was then. We were not driving as him. Now we are going to be driving as him in this episode. So I'm hoping we can really kickstart his season for us in the game. But in the meantime, we have been trying to improve the durability of this car even further, doing the final few upgrades we can research. We've actually gone through to get the breakthrough upgrades for durability, because that was the only department we didn't have from the start of the game when, you know, stage 4 was broken a little bit. So we're having to actually go through and purchase that the correct way to unlock those final durability upgrades. We also bring some brand new sponsors onto the car from the corporate side of things. So things are ticking away, you know, in the background during the activity timeline, even if there isn't too many things to manage these days in a fourth season of F1 25 career mode. But we're keeping the livery still quite sleek with the new sponsor added in a very subtle way, just a small black logo on the top of the chassis, but really trying to keep this Porsche livery, the base Porsche livery, as clean as possible to try and maintain the slick nature of this livery, which a lot of you guys were enjoying from the preseason in the first episode of the season. But with that, it is time just to dive into the race weekend. And like I said just earlier, now driving as a 99 rated Charles Leclerc. Let's hope we can embody that 99 overall rating. And, you know, we've obviously started the season in a great way with Tim Tramnitz, our reigning world champion. So hopefully as an AI for the first time, he'll be having a decent one. Let's go to Bahrain.
Under the bright lights of Bahrain, it is time for qualifying. Grid position up in the air. Who is going to seize the moment?
I'm hoping us, Alex Jakes, is obviously in real life. Charles Leclerc, one of the quickest qualifiers on the grid. That man knows how to wrestle a car over one lap, and indeed in the races we saw it around Monza, that Ferrari was really on the edge of things, wasn't it? And Leclerc was absolutely on it. So now we are driving as him. We're driving as a 99 rated driver. Can we try and match that overall rating? I don't know about you guys, but for me, it feels a bit daunting stepping into the shoes of Leclerc with that kind of, you know, pressure, knowing that he is that good as an AI. We saw that in flashes, you know, in the Australian Grand Prix. Despite the car issues, the ultimate failure, there were some flashes of real speed from Leclerc around the Australian Grand Prix, and it was the first time obviously being in our car, so that makes a big difference of being impressive, because it takes some time. I genuinely believe, even in the career mode like in real life, when the AI move teams, when they transfer teams, it does take them a little bit of time to get used to things. So We'll see how things progress and really how high Leclerc can maybe climb in terms of pace in this car. But one man who is very much used to his car is last race's race winner, Oscar Piastri, kicking things off in a strong manner again. A little bit worrying in a way how strong he's looking in that Red Bull. Maybe with Verstappen leaving, he's got a new lease of life, of just a little bit of pressure taken off him. Not to say that he was feeling the pressure anyway, because he was still doing a pretty good job for Red Bull, as well as he can do, because Piastri's AI has been a little bit hit and miss on this game. But maybe now, being the team leader with Gasly as his teammate, he's just taken that extra level. But I'm curious to see how Verstappen does. Speaking of, in the McLaren, he was on pole position in Australia, but then obviously had a grid penalty. So I think this episode we'll see really how quick he can be in the Papaya car, which still sounds very strange to say, as we're now into Q2, Q1, a formality now, into turn 1 on our first flying lap of the session, as we lose the back end. And oh, what's happening? I can't move. Oh, I'm stuck. We're stuck. We're stuck on the curb. We've beached it. We've beached this. We beached this car on the curb. Oh my days. I knew that you could beach the car in F1 25 now, maybe in a gravel trap, but not a curb. This curb's high enough that it's beached us. Look at the rear tyres spinning for everything. We're giving it full throttle, but the front 2 tyres are not moving because they're up in the air and the rear tyres are up in the air. We've completely beached the car on the curb. We locked the rear axle, spun the car into turn 1, but the place... Oh my... We've been disqualified. We've been disqualified because we couldn't move off the curb. We're in a dangerous position, and we can't even... The game can't even automatically drive our disqualified car somewhere like it usually does because we were so stuck. That's how stuck we were. The auto drive didn't even work when you get disqualified or retire. Oh my days. Oh, it's a disaster qualifying here in Bahrain because Tim Tramnett, he's not even made it out. I think my disqualification, my yellow flag into Sector 1 has affected the entire session because Verstappen is 1 second clear of everyone, showing that maybe others just didn't get their laps in because Tramnett's being 2.7 seconds off is ridiculous. But we have been disqualified driving as Leclerc in qualifying. Oh my God. I can't believe this is happening. I'm lost for words. I cannot believe we beached the car on a curb. How?
We're here again then at a famous circuit for its stunning visuals and thrilling battles for glory. Who will take the spotlight in the Bahrain Grand Prix today? It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and Lando Norris lines up alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Piastri, Gasly, Alex Albon and Sainz, Lawson, Tsunoda, Colapinto and Esteban Ocon, Aaron, Stroll, Tim Tramnett and O'Sullivan, Pepe Marti, Leclerc, Jack Doohan and Isaac Hadjar, Solov, Maloney, Crawford and Gabriel Bortoletto completes the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track. Welcome to the commentary box. I'm Alex Jakes. Alongside me is Anthony Davidson. Been a tough week for the team. They've had to make some layoffs this week. How is that going to affect them day to day?
Absolutely. This is a game where you need to keep that knowledge, all that brain power within the team. You don't want them disappearing off to other teams and taking all that knowledge to boost their own performances. So, yeah, it's very hard to bounce back from a situation like this.
Okay, give me a quick radio check, please. Radio check.
Yeah, all good, thank you.
Oh no, Charles already sounds completely done with Mark and by proxy this team. A DNF, an engine failure in the first race, beaching the car after a real axle lock with the car being still quite edgy and, you know, being difficult to drive. We're still getting used to it, and that's what basically, you know, enabled us to spin it, you know, that we're not used to this car still, and it bit us in the arse, and then beaching it on the curb. How unlucky can you get? That car hit that curb at the right angle, just at the right angle to lift up on the front and the rear, and basically we were seesawing on the curb unbelievable. That is a first time ever that I've beached a car ever in an F1 game, let alone this game where I knew it could happen, like I said, in the gravel trap. That was a new feature, but I didn't realize it could happen even on a curb, like a steep curb like that. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. So now, I mean, thankfully, the disqualification only kind of classified for Q2, so we're still here in P16. We did get disqualified from the entire day of qualifying, just from that session and going forward. So we're starting P16. We can see our teammate Tramnet in P13, so you know, our teammates not much better, but as a duo then, that's a horrendous second qualifying session of the season, and we have a lot of making up to do in what could be a very tricky Bahrain Grand Prix with high tyre wear, as most of this grid are starting on the hard compound, apart from, I think, the Red Bull drivers on the softs. So that's going to be very interesting as we go to 5 red lights for the round 2 of Season 4. Lights out, and we're underway. It's a good getaway for us versus the Renault of O'Sullivan. Marty into turn 1. Verstappen and Piastri side by side. The McLaren trying to maintain P1. Piastri into the lead early with the soft compounded tyre working well. We've had a very good turn 1. Dived it down the inside. Got a little bit sketchy at the apex, but we made it work. And now diving the Ferrari Leclerc's ex-team, his championship winning team from Season 2. And we're up into P11. Still not even in the points betting positions, but it's early days. 28 laps ahead of us, not including the one we're on the opening lap. But Piastri, he wasn't even on the front row, and he's in P1 now. Gasly P3. So the Red Bulls making use of their soft compound, which is 2 steps softer, of course, than the hard compound, the compound that most of the people are on. So now Gasly into the final corner. It's not even going to be the end of lap 1, and both Red Bulls are maybe going to secure just about the 1-2 there. Technically, Gasly was second as they crossed the line. Verstappen now coming back at him. Norris as well. It's 3 wide. Red Bull v McLaren v Mercedes. Lando and Gasly making contact. Sparks flying. 3 wide behind between Sainz, Albon and Lawson. Immediately, Bahrain once again delivering the action on F1 25, and scrapping still going on for Sainz and Lawson as the 2 Aramco Hondas are looking to improve on that really impressive first opening race. Maybe Honda, the new team formed out of Aston Martin, maybe they are going to be a real threat to the top teams this season as we catch Paul Aaron napping somewhat to the inside of the hairpin. I feel like it's going to have to be a race like that where we're really on our toes and just taking every advantage we can get of, late dives, because right now we haven't even done any laps of this circuit with this car, hardly any. So it's a stab into the unknown, and every lap we're doing, we're getting more comfy. But these hard tyres, I can't lie, feeling very, very difficult. The car is on edge. There's no grip. The hard tyres take so long to rubber in on lower fuel later in the race, let alone on the heaviest fuel load at the very start. And everyone is struggling, because look at that slide from Lawson there. So even the AI are having a bit of a tough time of it. And the only guys enjoying themselves are probably the 2 Red Bulls and maybe Max Verstappen, of course. Verstappen being that great, looking pretty okay and comfortable on the hards. He's actually managed to keep Gasly at bay and is maintaining second, but Piastri nearly 4.3 seconds ahead, and we've only done 4 laps. That's how much faster the Red Bull is on the soft compound as we come from so far back. The dive bomb on Carlos Sainz. The 2 old teammates, the old pals, coming together. Maybe there's a bit of damage, I don't know. The heads-up display didn't actually show any damage, so maybe that just came up for no reason. I'm not too sure. I'm a little bit worried now. We've got some front wing damage, some phantom front wing damage, and we do finish the move off on Carlos Sainz, but no love lost between the 2 former teammates and friends. But I asked for vehicle condition. Mark saying nothing, so I don't think we have damage. At least I hope not, but it certainly seemed like the game was indicating to us there was some. with the HUD coming up on the right-hand side. Meanwhile, at the sharp end, Gasly now finally maybe trying to get into P2, but Verstappen is so good and looks like he's now comfortable with the McLaren. I mean, he already was comfortable with the McLaren anyway last race, the first race of the season. He put it on pole, for goodness sake, and it's back-to-back pole positions in the season. So it looks like Verstappen and that papaya in Season 4 here are a match made in heaven, honestly, as we had to do a little bit of swapping with Sainz to book in the P8, and meanwhile Tramnit struggling a little bit in this race, P14, but I still very much believe in what he can do. You guys have seen what he can do in Season 3. He's not the reigning world champion for nothing as an AI driver, and as driven by us. He was excellent all of last season, so it's just a case of, unfortunately, in the traffic a little bit, and it's so competitive on this grid. Is Lando Norris is out. He was doing quite well in the top 4 for Mercedes, but he is out, so now the only sole Mercedes left in this race is down in P8 as Gasly is coming in very early compared to others. Maybe lap 8 this is for him. To be honest, he's actually taken those softs longer than I thought. Him and Piastri both a lot longer. I mean, Piastri's still going on as the race leader as Colapinto gets up into 3rd place now on the road for Honda, overtaking Albon. Lawson now is chasing after the Ferrari. What? No way. No way has there been another rear wing failure. From the first race to this
DRS
one.
will be offline. There's a fault with the rear wing system. Stay out.
I
We
can't
can work on
believe
a
it.
fix remotely.
The FIA are already investigating us for the DRS issue last race because it was stuck open. This time they can't investigate us for this because it's stuck closed. But that's a penalty in itself for us because now we can't use it. We are going to close up on Albon and hopefully make the overtake because the Ferrari is just not looking great now in the latter stage of this stint. Both Hondas have overtaken him, for goodness sake. So I think we should have the measure. Looks like Albon's actually harvesting a lot of battery, so maybe he's overused ERS, and we've made quick work of him around the outside of the last corner, P4, and now using our battery to push away. So despite the Ferrari having DRS, we stay ahead, but how long is this issue going to last then? Because in Australia, the DRS was stuck open for only, like, what was it, 3 laps, I think, in total? But this is going on for a little while longer, it would seem, staying closed, which is really bad news for us. So the F1 gods looking down upon us, and it's karma for everyone else in terms of good karma, because we're losing out now in this race with DRS stuck closed as we now barrel into the pits on lap 13. Myself and Colapinto, the last guys to pit off the hard tyres. So we've extended this stint by about 3 laps because originally it was planned to be a 10-lap hard tyre stint on the original strategy screen. And now we're putting on a set of medium tyres. It's been a great pit stop because we've jumped Colapinto. So great work by the aarava Porsche Racing pit crew as they've jumped ahead of the Honda guys. And that's one less car to worry about. But yeah, we've extended the first stint and we've changed tactics. Instead of going hard, soft, we're going hard, medium. And that leaves us open to seeing what the tyre wear is like and can we hack the soft compound tyre. As Max Verstappen there overtakes Piastri for the lead. He was behind, fair and square, but now they're both on the soft compound, and Verstappen is the quicker man. He takes the lead. So interesting, the 2 Red Bull cars, they've split strategy. Piastri's gone soft, Gasly, soft, hard. So how's that going to work out for them by the end of the race? And Verstappen, he's gone from hard to soft. Tramnitz has done the same. He's on the soft tyre. So that sparked my reasoning to go into the mediums, because I didn't want to go to hards again, because I would have been the odd one out, it would seem. But I just didn't trust the car enough to go on softs in the middle of the race. So I thought the happy compromise is medium tyres, and let's see how this one goes. I mean, right now it's working well because Lawson is not too quick on these softs, and I am catching him on the medium. So I think we've chosen wisely, because I think, honestly, we would have struggled more than Lawson if we chose softs. Tramnitz is... he's not setting the timer lights, he's not setting purples, so maybe he's not doing any better on the soft compound. So I think we've chosen the right happy medium compound as we fly by Lawson into turn 1 with DRS aided. The problem is, though, now Lawson is going to get the second bite of the cherry, and we've gone a little bit too deep into turn 1, maybe opened ourselves up for the move, and we know how quick that Honda was from the first round. Lawson pulls out, we squeeze him to the right-hand side. We've not got too much battery to use, and now we're going to be neck and neck at the apex through into the the heart towards Sector 2. Lawson ahead, and we're going to try and go round the outside, hang it through, commit to the inside. Bit of curb usage on the left, but Lawson comes across to make a bit of contact, parks it on the apex for the hairpin, and we're going to have to lick our wounds and live to fight for another day as Lawson actually maintains the P4. Fair play. It was a good bit of defensive work for him and, you know, re-engaging with the attack. But now through the final corner on the outside, surely we blitz him this time. We've used quite a bit of battery to get alongside him. DRS open, but now we give him a bit of a squeeze to the inside before pulling to the outside. And this time, not trying to go too deep into turn one and actually making sure that he doesn't get the better open line into the next corner. A little bit of squirming around is, honestly, I'm still not fully used to the throttle delivery, the torque delivery of this new Porsche engine for our car. It's very different to the Mercedes we were used to for the last 2 seasons, but you know, we're making it work like Leclerc in real life. We're just wrestling this car through every lap and making it work. Is lap 19 now. Pit stop for Oscar Piastri. We're up into 3rd place now, so we're extending this second stint further than others. So we're going to be really out of sync because lap 21, we're now leading the race, still going on. So we are going to be on the freshest set of tyres at the end of this race, and I can confirm it is going to be a set of soft tyres. The same for Colapinto maybe, but Piastri leads on the road again. So Piastri, the undercuts worked. Piastri will effectively lead this race once myself and Franco make pit stops. So Verstappen, if he wants to win this race, he's going to have to overtake Piastri on track again as Tramnit makes his final stop. He's out in P12, 13 maybe even. So he's out the points. Tramnit, he's going to have to really deliver a stellar final sector if he is to get into the points today, as now we focus on this fight for the effective race lead. Verstappen in papaya orange now these days. Piastri in the Red Bull Ford, 3rd and 4th. Verstappen to the inside. It's not even the main straight. Into the last corner. The two of them jockeying for position. A little bit of contact. The two former teammates wheel to wheel. But Verstappen gets the job done before they even hit the main straight, and he will have DRS to help him. So it's a really clever bit of driving, maybe overusing the battery Verstappen was into the final corner to get it done, as they also cross the DRS point so that he can get the bite of the drag reduction at the same time as we come out now. Oh, it's going to be very, very close, side by side with Lawson. Obviously, we've got cold tyres, so our rear end is squirming everywhere, and Lawson will have the better exit, but we've got DRS crucially to dive it back down the inside. Lawson, though, has the warmed up tyres as we try and commit through. Can we get the elbow out? We are trying our best. We're on the inside now for this complex, and Lawson completely steps out of it. And I feel like that's us having a measure of Lawson, that we know he's going to back out of it. And he's not going to cause us any issues, I think, for the rest of this stint as we press on to, dare I say, maybe try and see if we can catch Pierre Gasly as we watch Tsunoda overtaking Sainz for P6. So Williams quicker than Mercedes in this race. Albon P9, the lead Ferrari. So Ferrari having a really torrid time over here around Bahrain as Tramnitz is in P10. So I'm hoping I reckon Tramnitz has the pace to get P9 and maybe 8. You know, I back him. I back him for that as Ocon and Stroll swap positions. And meanwhile, Lawson in no man's land. But I wonder, will his tyres go off enough where Tsunoda catches him? Tsunoda also on soft. So it's really a question of how the tyre wear is going to shake out for all these different teams as we watch Gasly in 3rd place. We're on the same straight as Gasly. So I actually think a podium, a 3rd place, could be on the cards for us and Charles Leclerc, as Piastri is now nearly 6 seconds away from Max Verstappen. Verstappen, it's now a last stint in a race that maybe he's deserving from getting back-to-back pole positions, the penalty in the first race, but this is what he deserves here, dominating the last part of the Bahrain Grand Prix to take victory for McLaren on the second race of asking us. Now here we are, under 1 second to Gasly, and our DRS is working now, by the way, so we could really go for the final podium spot in the final stages of this race. What? What? What just happened? Oh, it's not a laughing matter, but that radio from Leclerc that just cut off. Oh, that was amazing. What just happened? We're out. We're out with 4 laps to go. Our car just got blown up by the strongest bollard in the known universe. What's this? Watch this onboard, this replay. Just watch the top. That bollard completely sheared not only our tyre, but our suspension arms clean off the car. What's that? What the hell? What are Bahrain making these bollards out of? Unobtainium or something like that. Or what have we made our suspension out of? Blue tack, is it? With 4 laps to go, we were on for a podium, and just that little drift that sent our back end wide, it put the nose towards the bollard, and we're out in a very spectacular fashion, I might add, because the resulting spin was quite something, because the entire left-hand side tyre structure gone, and in slow-mo, you'll see the devastation. So tyre cleanly off, but we catch the tyre, suspension arms off, smoking away on the rears, a nice 360 spin. Then the tyre is going to go underneath us. We're going to then be airborne. We're then going to bounce up and out of the ground. The tyre then gets caught up again by the front wing, and there's going to go once again underneath us to finish off this, well, incredible pirouetting, crashing DNF gymnastics routine from our car, but it's no laughing matter. We're out. This is 2 DNFs in a row to start Leclerc's life at aarava Porsche Racing. Abysmal.
Another one for the incredible career of Max Verstappen, who takes the win.
A great display of dominance today by this driver. They led from lights out to the flag at the end, led every lap of the race. Brilliant stuff by them, and excited to see what more they can do in future races.
The top 3 drivers worked so hard today, and they climb onto the podium. Well, we've seen this one before. Max Verstappen on the top step once again.
I'm actually in disbelief at how this race weekend's gone. Not only did we get beached and disqualified in qualifying, we then had that race where we did so well to wrestle that car up to maybe towards a podium. It was a dry fitting of Leclerc in real life, you know, the way he wrestles cars and just makes it work. But the world's strongest bollard has ended our race. Oh my God. And obviously we've got that FI investigation, so there might be more pain to come next episode, concluding that investigation. This has been a really not ideal start and a very messy one to this season. Chaotic for you guys, I'm sure, to watch. And if you have enjoyed it, hit the like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you're around here, then do get subscribed for weekly Formula 1 content. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.